look what just came in. It is the brand new LOKLiK ipaint paint by number machine. Yeah, you heard me. You can make your own paint by number. Take a picture, load it in, and paint. So let's try it out.
I'm Erin Reed, and join me while we play with all things crafty and creative by making projects, going to fun crafty events, and just all things creative. Welcome to my channel.
So let's talk about what's in the box. There is 48 colors in here. Let's check out what 48 colors of paint is. Oh, okay. So they're really loud, first of all, but it is little bitty paints. I did read that after this whole Kickstarter and after, because like this isn't even available yet. This is the Kickstarter program for this, and you can get a really good rate, and all those links are down below. There are replacement paints that you can get for this, but I do wonder if you know like what the CMYK, like you knew the code for it, if you could match the paints, maybe you could get that to work, or you could do your own like best fit kind of paint. Handy dandy pens, paint brushes, power cables, and things that are falling on the floor. Screwdriver. Oh, and the pin. There's that little bitty bolt in there. Probably need that somewhere. One of the axes that needs to go together. I'm guessing this will be the other axis that goes together. Oof, this feels hefty. It doesn't feel cheap. It feels very, very hefty and very sturdy. Here's our tape canvas. A really cool box that I don't know what to do with, but I hate throwing things. It feels like a good gerbil maze. Hamster maze? Guinea pigs? Anybody? And a big old box, which I don't need the box anymore, so bye-bye. Bye, box. This was in front of my face the entire time. Apparently I have like, okay, we're removing it now. And instructions of how to put it together. Fabulous. Pull out the connector of the Y-axis. Okay. Let's take them out of the bags first. I do notice some tape on here. I'm guessing the tape needs to be removed. And tape can go to plastic, and I'll clean that up later. Okay, I feel like I'm playing some sort of video game. Wee! But I'm guessing that's needed for everything to move around. And there's some sort of connector. I feel like I know what to do. It says connect the connectors. So this feels like, and apparently I have, excuse me for a minute. Okay, oh, are you loving the shirt? Yeah, they're for sale, down below. So if you've been wanting one of these heart shirts and a few other of my fun designs, check out the links down below. Back to assembly. There's a little connector right there. You guys see that? That little connector? That attaches. Well, I don't want to break it, but basically those two pieces were disassembled and now you put them together. So that's as hard as that gets. And then I guess this fits just like that. I feel like I had this thing backwards too. Oh, and there's a pin. Ta-da! And that is where the pin goes. Screw, and it's not just that. This is why you need the Phillips head screwdriver. So you can screw it in place. This little button right here to cover it up so it looks all pretty and like finished. And now I have an extra screwdriver. Bonus. I feel like I'm like, I don't know why I found that amusing, but I do. This thing has got some heft to it. I can see why they did it separately because it fits better in the box. So minimal assembly required, not too bad. But when it's all together, like, don't do that. This is not tiny. I don't know, you could probably, I don't know what the best way to store it. This is a conundrum I am waiting to try and solve. Must have power. So where's the power switch? Haha, it's on the back where it should be. Score. If I put everything together correctly, it should power up. Let's see. And it's telling me it's on. Score 1 for Erin. It really wasn't hard. I mean, truly, it's like snap two things together, set it up the right way, put a screw in, and plug it in. So far, super easy. So you have two options. As I feel like a librarian, my kids tell me I look like a librarian in my glasses, but look, it matches. It's all good. You either have an app you can use on your phone, but there is also a program, and that's what the USB cable is for.
So I couldn't get my phone to hook up. I don't know if it's an issue with my phone, but I got it working with my computer, and I did hardwired in using the USB cable. So once I got to that point and I got everything all set up and it registered as seeing my machine, now it's giving me instructions, which is pretty darn cool. So let's lay the machine out, which I put together, and we're gonna put the pen in. So one of these 3 pens already has this little grippy thing attached to it. So we're gonna default to that one first. I think this is the heat one. It looks like it just uncap it, and then you're gonna slide it in and lock it in place. Then we've got our canvas, so please use the canvas, secure it under the device with the tape, and then it looks like we're gonna line it up at a certain point. So ensure the proper operation, device will paint this pattern. I'm gonna put the edge of this right next to here, and I feel like I need to put my pen way further down. I feel like it needs to touch the paper. See what happens. It worked. So one of the things, because I already have the iCraft machine, I need to switch this over to the paint. So now we're gonna go to paint, and now I see the space for my paint to be in. All right, trying to get the one good shot. There's bribery involved. There's bribery involved to get a cute shot of your dog. You ready? Do you want a cookie? Do you want a cookie? We're gonna upload my doggy's picture. Scale it down. Yep, we're gonna shrink it down. I might even make this a little bit smaller. I don't need to make this giant. We can do this as a small scale one. So we have some options off to the side here. Once I have to click the image. So key thing is I didn't have the image clicked and it won't let me do anything. So click your image, transfer image to a vector image. We're gonna try that. So we're gonna try an oil painting. So we have easy, medium, hard. We're gonna go easy, people. And let's see how long this takes. That wasn't too bad. That was actually pretty fast. All right, not quite sure what's happening there. It's pulling in some other shading. I think like the rest of it's pretty darn good. Let's go to medium, see what happens with medium. We're just playing. Ooh, that looks way better. I am loving that a whole lot more. Now I actually can see it does look like my dog. The eyes aren't all wonky. This is fantastic. Now, just for grins and giggles, let's go back and let's see what the complex one looks like, just for fun. So just kind of keep that in mind, that the more complex you make your drawing, the longer the difficulty in terms of transferring over it into the painting is going to take. Oh my goodness, that is pretty spot on. I will say I'm probably going to do a little bit of work around his nose, like right around his muzzle. I might tweak a little bit of that because it looks kind of funny, but you know, it's my painting. I can do as much as I want with, but I feel that's pretty darn good. So let's go and hit apply. I like the higher quality better. Probably a lot more little pieces I'm going to have to like fill in, but that's okay. All right, so here is what our oil painting is going to look like. Again, modify the nose just a tiny bit. And now we're gonna hit make. Paint sets. Okay, we have the 48 color paint set right here. So that's what we're collecting. Here it's giving us all the answers. So we're gonna transfer that over. And let's see how long this takes. Again, I'm gonna speed this up just because, you know, we're not gonna sit here and watch this in real time. All right, so we have 2 options, which you have your pen option. So here we have canvases. So we're going to use canvas, canvas panels, stretch canvas. We're going to go with just canvases. And then we have different sizes. I only have the one size they gave me. I got 2 of them, but if you have other canvases, you can obviously play around with that. There are 2 different pens. There's the gel pen and the heat erasable. We're going to go with the heat erasable because I think you just add heat and it disappears, or we're just going to paint over it. It's no big deal. Pen down. Okay, so it's touching. Please ensure the pen tip is properly touches the painting surface. Here we can see the pen is looking like it is touching the surface. Saving a little undershot. Yes, it is touching. And then preview painting on the substrate. All right, we're gonna go from here to here and then over. So that way you know that you're lined up correctly and it looks like everything is lined up just perfect. Let's do it. So now we have to start. So as you can see right here, we've got this crazy number of it's going to take 6 hours and 1 minute. I'm not going to give it almost 6 hours to do the paint by number. That's a little insane. But I'm going to give it 10 minutes and see what happens.
So I'm not going to wait 6 hours for this to get done. It's just, you know, No. If you want to spend that amount of time, like if you were doing a really, really cool, large painting, massive family portrait, like really doing something you want to spend a lot of time, but for just a test run, yeah, no. So here's a cool fun fact, and I tested it. I got rid of that fun line, the tester one. It's a heat erasable. So, pulled out my heat gun. Ready? Here's the magic. Ta-da! How cool is that? All right, so I'm very glad they give you this because you're gonna make boo-boos. Without boring you guys with what it looks like on the screen, I'm gonna go back to the beginner setting. I'm also gonna make my picture a little bit bigger. I only kept it at 6 by 6, but now knowing that I was limited to the size of my canvas, I'm gonna make this a whole lot bigger. I'm gonna make this a good like 12 by 12 on here. That'll open it up because I couldn't even read the numbers on this thing, like it was gone. So reset this whole thing. But I'm not gonna bore you with all the settings on the computer. It's the same thing. Beginner, make it bigger, and let's get started again. Round 2. So we started out with the canvas they provided and doing it, and I want to say the numbers are not quite what I was expecting out of this. So instead of doing the canvas and the heat pen, which is awesome because if you screw up you can always just replace it, we're going to try it on just cardstock, just white cardstock. Let's see what happens. And they gave us a gel pen, so we're going to attempt a gel pen. I switched out the little casing. There's like this little plastic casing that you can pop in and out. And it was initially attached to one of the heat pens or the heat removal pens, and now we're doing it to the gel pen. So it just slides right on. Oopsie daisy. There is a right way. The thicker cap goes to the top. Slide this in. Now we're going to shift this over. So we want to line this up, and we're going to do a completely different image.
So here I have this amazing butterfly. I think it is very, very cool. We're going to make this about a 8-inch butterfly. We're going to do oil painting. Let's see what it looks like on easy. This one looks like, I feel like it needs to go a little bit past the easy level. So we're going to go to the medium level and see what happens here. So this one's not bad. I'm actually kind of liking this one. I feel like it's got, I would have to tweak the antenna here. I'm not going to go to the extended one because I really don't want to have a 6-hour length of time to paint this or to have this be applied. So we're going to go with the medium level. All right, still sticking with the same size. We're going to go to make this, and we're going to collect the 48 colors. We're going to transfer over here and see how long. Like this looks kind of cool. Like this is something very doable that I feel like I could paint this. And it gives me a place to start, which is nice. Now we're gonna go to add task and we're gonna hit start. Let's pray that it doesn't take 8 hours. I'm pleasantly surprised, 34 minutes. I'm liking this.
So here's the second version. This one is on paper, and I did it with the pen, way faster, only about 30 minutes. The part that I'm still a little frustrated on is I am having a very, very hard time defining the colors, what the numbers mean. So I think that's a 25, I think that's a 45, but it's very jumbled. There's also a number right here in the middle trying to tell me something, and I'm not thrilled with that because it's supposed to just be white. I guess they're wanting me to paint this in white. Like this got a little cut off on the edge. It's getting there. It's not 100%. I don't know what this little dot here in the center is. Like it's still trying to figure it out. And again, I did the medium quality. So we're gonna paint this and see what happens. I'm getting help because I have to edit and I have to do lots of other fun things. But my daughter's over here eating French fries and working on the second painting. So, but here's where we're at. The numbers are hard to read. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, numbers are a little hard to read. So
I'm winging it.
a little bit. But she has a plan, and let me show you kind of what her plan is. Just give you an up close on the dog. So here we see, well, this is major. You can see that the numbers are small because we did it small. Here is, for instance, number 11. So what we've done over here is up on the screen, we've got, because I did screenshots, luckily I took some screenshots of each of the areas. So she's blowing it up to see the number better. We have the original picture and she has the picture of what it looks like. She did this for both the butterfly and also for the dog. She did the butterfly first, which I think the butterfly turned out pretty darn cute. Don't you?
I like it.
I know, it turns out awesome. But you know, this was also easier but harder, more colors, but easier because it was a learning curve and it was easier to tell the spaces.
I think that one's easier to do because there's more colors and stuff to blend. This one's harder because it has to make it look more real.
And our other caveat that we came across, and she realized when it came with the butterfly, it was better to have more colors because there's not as many colors in each one of these little paint tubes. So to caveat that, we color matched with paint we already had what the biggest color number, which for us was number, what was it? 1.
2.
Oh,
One
was
and
it
2.
1 and 2. So we found a paint bottle that was exactly the same match. And so she's using this instead of 1 and 2. And then here she has the other one. So there just wasn't going to be enough to do this particular painting because our dog is basically beige, all beige.
He's a white dog.
He's a beigey white dog. Who's sitting right here. Oops, that's really, really up close. Hi, Major. Yeah, you're being as easy to photograph as you were earlier. Pay no attention to the cables on the floor. Major. Hi, there he is. See, very beigey white dog. Oh, now you're going to get up and say hi? Hi, okay. Hi, Peanut. Hi. Yes, hi, Major. Yeah, it was really hard to get the photo of him. He did not want to cooperate at all. But the ultimate question, are you having fun?
Yes.
She's having fun. And we've already commented what is the next thing that she wants to do? What is the next image she wants to make?
Flower.
She wants to do a flower. So is it worth getting? So there you go.